I'm Andy with Competitive Cyclist, and this is my shootout of the Castelli Premio Black and Assos Equipe RS S11 bib shorts. If there's one thing I've tested and analyzed more than anything else on the planet, it's bib shorts. I've reviewed nearly every level of every bib short from all the major manufacturers. So I've got a unique POV on how bibs have evolved since the early 2000s. In a nutshell, they've changed almost in parallel with bikes by becoming lighter, more durable, more aerodynamic, and more comfortable, while at the same time providing excellent compression. And no one has led that charge better than Assos. Let's be honest. From an innovation and engineering standpoint, they've been off the front for years. The Equipe RS S11s play second fiddle to their top shelf RSRs, but you'd never know that these weren't their premier offering. I sure didn't, no thanks to the endlessly and eternally confusing Assos naming system, but I digress. Anyway, to get back to my earlier point about how bib shorts have evolved, the fabrics are a big part of that. And the S11's Type 911 fabric delivers an omnidirectional flexibility that creates a second skin-like fit, which also allows for fewer seams and better body mapping. That's an overused industry term for making the bibs feel like they disappear when you put them on. In other words, they're constructed to move like you move. Assos invented body mapping, and they're still Jedi masters of this dark art. They call this one their Racing Fit template, which is an aerodynamic silhouette designed with the help of their World Tour teams. And they stitch in probably the most comfortable chamois they've ever made, the 5-layer RS S11. But for me, the Cranchillo tech kind of steals the show. What it is a technology they use to reduce wrinkling and bunching across the front of the hips at the bend in your leg. That's always been a problem for me. Now, if you rewind this video a minute or two, you'll notice that I said led the charge when I referred to Assos' leadership in bib short engineering and design. They're still off the front, but it's like 5K to go and it's a flat stage. And Castelli is at the front of the group trying to get their star, the Premio Black, across the line first. And it's going to be close. The first thing you notice when you pick up the Castelli Premio Black bibs is how insanely light and wispy they are. It's quite surprising. The other thing that catches you off guard is the crepe-like texture of the fabric, which at first you'd think isn't going to be as comfortable because it's almost a little abrasive, but once you get them on, they're anything but. The lightweight fabric passes my vanishing test better than any bib I've worn. Castelli dialed in the construction, fit, and gradual compression so well that they virtually disappear on your body. And when you factor in the delightfully minimal but comfortable Progetto X2 Air seamless chamois, you get a bib short that's really hard to beat. And to be honest, if we're going back to the 5K to go metaphor, this one's going to be a photo finish. Castelli has absolutely closed the gap to Assos, and these bibs are, in my opinion, on equal footing in nearly every way. But like every race, somebody's got to win, right? So as I sat on my sofa writing this review, I had both bibs lying beside me. And as I stared wistfully at them both, wishing I could go for a ride instead of writing a stupid script for a stupid video review, I realized that I had been reaching for the Castelli more often than the Assos. And I think there's a few subjective reasons for that. One, they're not black. I'm so over black bibs, not just from an aesthetic standpoint, but also because it's hot and sunny all the time where I live now. And in the summer, you just can't wear anything black on the bike past like 10 a.m. Second, I wasn't joking about the disappearing act thing. These bibs turn into a lightweight, moisture-wicking second skin better than any of the dozens of other bib shorts I've owned. And the legs are nice and long, which is a big deal for my long femored body. But then, as I was sitting there, I reached over and grabbed the silky, buttery S11s and was instantly reminded of decades of wonderful riding and all my other Assos gear. These don't fully disappear, but they feel really good when you put them on. You know they're there, and because you know they're there, they make the ride better in a weird and almost intangible way. The fit is sublime, and the engineering is clever without being too clever or overdone. Case in point, the overabundance of leg grippers on the back of the legs and not on the front. Quite genius actually, because it reduces friction and weight and keeps the delicate silicone out of the sun, so they'll actually last longer. And you know what? The S11s are actually good enough for me to endure a little heat on the hips on a sunny day. So, head to head, mano a mano, I gotta say, this one's a tie. But kudos to Castelli for finally catching Assos, and I can't wait to see what happens on tomorrow's stage. And now let's bring in Jess for a quick Ask Me Anything on these bibs.
All right, Andy, that was super helpful. Thank you so much for that little gear review. I do have some questions. First off, you talked about Assos just being black and hot in the summer. Do they really not have any other color options?
So back in the day, Assos used to offer red, yellow, blue, black, and gray. Today, you can have any color you want as long as it's black.
Really lets you make a fashion statement.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I wish they would offer, like, at least maybe bring back that titanium gray that they used to do, or maybe even a navy blue. But yeah, it's just Assos and black go together really well, I guess.
Interesting. So then another question, you talked about the length of the bibs. Yeah. Would Assos be a better option for shorter people?
So the answer is yes, but not the ones I tested. Assos makes these bibs with 2 different inseam lengths. I had the longer one. They make a shorter one, so that would be a great choice for someone like you who needs something that has a shorter inseam.
Okay, awesome, good to know. And then my last question is, if I'm getting ready to go on a 7-hour ride, gonna be on my bike all day, does that alter which bibs I should pick?
For me, if it's gonna be sunny, it's gonna be hot, I'm going with something that's lighter colored. So I'd go with the Castellis in this case. I would have no hesitation wearing those shorts with that chamois for a 7 to 8 hour all day ride. Prevailing wisdom, anybody else you ask is gonna say Assos all the time because the chamois is amazing. The fit is amazing. Everybody else on the planet is gonna choose Assos. So I guess Assos is the answer.
Gotcha. I'm sold. I know what I'm gonna do once that paycheck comes in. Alrighty guys, that's all the questions I had for Andy. If you're still curious about some stuff, leave us a comment and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, or reach out to a gearhead. We'll let you know how in the description below. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you next time.